Hi everyone, this is Devashish Mehta, Assistant Professor of Government Engineering College, Daman. So our today's lecture is very interesting because we are going to talk about word formation process, and under this category I have taken three forms of word formation. One is clipping, then blending, then compounding. Here we will get to see how word is formed, or how through changing letters, through changing various forms of the words, we can change meaning, we can change words into something else. So here we will get to see various formations through which word is constructed, word is created. So without further ado, let's move on to the first point. Now the first point is clipping. Clip, where you need to when we cut our nails, so we clip the nails. So here in likewise in word formation, clipping also plays a very important role in the word formation. Now what is clipping? Clipping is a word formation process in which a word of more than one syllable is reduced to a shorter form and create a new word. So basically this is a kind of process in which word or more than one syllable is reduced to a shorter form. So the point is that here the longer word will be reduced into a shorter word, and this is also known as shortening. It's a kind of abbreviation which is always in common use in our casual communication, in the life of our day-to-day life affairs. It also basically cuts some portions of the particular or that original word. Okay, so we will have some examples so that it will be better to understand how clipping is formed. Now there are four types of clipping. Now one is back clipping, number two fore clipping, number three middle clipping, and the last one is complex clipping. We will explain one by one, and then you will get to know what kind of clipping happens and what are the functions or the differences of these four types of clipping. Let's see. Back clipping or apocopation. It's basically the back clipping, or in the discipline of linguistics it is called apocopation. Now the most important kind of clipping is used through this category, back clipping, because it is very oftentimes used in day-to-day life communication. So how it happens? Let's see. Let's look at the example first, then I will talk about the second point of this slide. If you see the example examination, and look at the red colored portion of the full word examination. So here that red colored portion, the latter half of the portion of the word is reduced, and what remains is the exam. So you can see the back of the word is clipped, and what remains is the initial portion of the word exam. So examination is reduced to exam. So exam from examination is a kind of back clipping word formation. Or you can take another example, professor. So again the latter half of the word professor in the red lettered word ESSOR is reduced, and what remains is prof dot. That also stands for professor. We use we write sometimes prof dot Sanjay Kumar, like that. Or department, you can see the latter half of the portion of this word is reduced, and what remains is dep dot, department. Mathematics, which is very common to us, we say math. So again the latter half of the portion of the word is reduced, and what is left with is math only. So what happens here, now you can see the second point of this slide which I displayed. You can see the initial portion or the beginning section of the word remain the same, and the rest is clipped, rest is removed. So this is how back clipping takes place. Now you can see the fore clipping or apheresis. Apheresis is also a name used in the discipline of linguistics, and the common name is called fore clipping. Now you can understand back clipping where the back of the word is reduced, and fore clipping means definitely the initial portion of the word will be reduced. You can see with the example. So the first point is clip the beginning portion of the word while keeping the concluding part same as it is. So in the example you can see telephone. So here the initial or the beginning portion of the word tele, as you can see in the red lettered, is reduced, and what remains is phone. Or alligator, gator, airplane, plane, raccoon, coon. So this is how in the fore clipping word formation or apheresis, the initial portion is removed, the initial portion is clipped, and what is left us with is the latter part of the portion of the word. This is phone, gator, plane, coon. Now let's move on to the third type of clipping. Now the third type of clipping is called middle clipping or syncope. Again, syncope is the linguistic terminology for middle clipping. Now middle clipping, you can see middle clipping means definitely the middle section will be clipped, and what remains back and forth will remain the same. So the middle portion of the word remains the same, and the beginning as well as the ending part is clipped. In the example you can understand better. So for example, influenza. So you can see the middle portion of the word remains the same, and the beginning and the ending part is clipped. So in the word influenza, the beginning portion in red lettered word, and enza, E-N-Z-A, again in the red lettered word, this beginning section in and the ending section enza are clipped, and what remains is the flu. So we say flu, we don't say influenza, right? Now again in the similar example of middle clipping is refrigerator. So again the beginning section re, rater, letter section, ending section rator, these beginning and ending sections are clipped, and what remains is fridge with a different spelling. So this is what middle clipping or syncope takes place to form new word, to create word formation. Now in the fourth type or the last type of clipping is called complex clipping. It is a kind of word formation process of shortening a word into a compound word. Okay, here you will see that we will shorten the word, and that shortened word is a kind of, it will come out as a compound word. Okay, so for example, optical art. Now if you clip this compound word optical art, so you will write op art. So how it happens? It happens like this. Here, if there is a compound word already in full form, without any sort of abbreviation, so here you can see that the beginning portion of the first letters, initial letters of the beginning word will be cut off, and what remains is the shortened version of this word: optical art, op art, navigation certificate, navy cert. Okay, so this is how you can see complex clipping. Now let's talk about little bit about blending. Blend, uh, where when you merge two things into one, when two separate words are merged into one and get a new word and create a new word completely different in meaning, different in spelling, different in everything. So blending is a process of combining two or more than two words into a new one. That is the process of blending. Now it differs from compound words as it gets broken unlike the unbroken words of the compounding words. Now let's see what is meant over this second point of this slide. Compound word. What do you mean by compound word? There will be two or more than two words. So say for example, class is one word and room is one word. Now if you say classroom, so it is a compound word. And now the point is, now look at the second point. Blending differs from compound words as it gets broken, unlike the unbroken words of the compounding words. Okay, so here the compounding words get broken. Here the compounding words gets unbroken. It doesn't break into something else. It remains the same. There is no change of letters. Okay, class and room, classroom, no change of letters, nothing, no removal of letters, nothing, same to same as it is. Class and room, classroom, compound word. Tooth and brush, toothbrush. Okay, so here two words are there and these two words gets combined and without having any change in letters, without having any removal of the letters of the words, and they remain the same, and but they mean something different. Okay, but in blending word what happens is, you can see the example, smoke plus fog, it becomes smog. So here again come back to the second point of this slide, that blending differs from compound words as it gets broken. So here blending has an element of breaking into pieces of the words. So here smoke is another word and fog is another word, and now if you blend these two words, so what comes out is smog. Okay, so how does it happen? So the initial portion of the first word smoke, sm, and the ending or concluding part of the second word og, we will take these two portions, the initial portion of the first word sm of smoke and the concluding part of the second word fog, og. Now it becomes smog. It's completely different meaning. So here beginning of one word and end of the other word. Now if you do that, you will get the another word that is called smog. Okay, now come to the next slide, that is compounding. Now we will get to know in detail more about compounding here. Now compound word is a kind of word which comprises of two or more roots, like as I say toothbrush, tooth plus brush, or class plus room, classroom. Here police plus car, police car, bitter plus sweet, bitter sweet. Now in this table we can have more detailed chart of compound word formation. Now in the horizontal way you can see there are 5 columns: forms, adjective, noun, verb, preposition. Now in the vertical level there are 4 points, 4 options: adjective, noun and verb. Forms is the heading of adjective, noun and verb. Now we will say, first we will take the first one, adjective. Now we will combine adjective with adjective adjective with noun, adjective with verb, then adjective with preposition. This is how we will come to the end. So now the first one, adjective with adjective. Now two adjectives will create a compound word. So in the second column you can see adjective plus adjective, bittersweet, two adjectives, compound word. Adjective plus noun, black belt, adjective is black, noun is belt, black belt. Adjective plus verb, high tide. Adjective plus preposition, have you heard lockdown or slow down? Okay, now come to the next option of the forms, that is noun. Again we will combine noun with all these four forms: adjective, noun, verb, preposition. Now noun with adjective: snow cold, ice cold, noun adjective, compound word. Noun plus noun, steam rice, ice cream. Noun plus verb, fact check, I will fact check you, I'm not gonna spoon feed you, I'm not gonna babysit you. Okay, so spoon feed, always lagging behind you, to the nagging boy, to the nagging child, to the nagging little baby girl. So noun plus verb, fact check, spoon feed, babysit. Noun plus preposition, sunrise, sun up, sun down. Yeah. Now come to the next option of the forms, last option of the forms, that is verb. Verb plus subjective, carry all. Verb plus noun, scarecrow, scare plus crow, scarecrow. Verb plus verb, paycheck, sleepwalk, right? Paycheck, well, paycheck has it has a movie, very famous Hollywood movie. So verb plus verb, paycheck, play, check, sleep, work. Verb plus verb, it also creates compound word. Verb plus preposition, drive through. So this is how you can see how compound word is formed through various parts of speeches. Now let's see some more extra examples of blending. Gasoline plus alcohol, gasohol. Breakfast plus lunch, brunch, right? As I told you in one of the earlier slides, smoke plus fog, smog. Yeah, so here what happens, here the letters of the words are broken. Okay, so the initial portion of the first word and concluding portion of the latter word remain the same. Then it gets combined and create a new word, the blending word. Breakfast plus lunch, brunch. Television plus broadcast, telecast. Spoon plus fork, spork. Motor plus hotel, motel. Camera plus recorder, camcorder. You can see in our mobile phone in nowadays which new versions are coming out. So you can say it has a very standard camcorder option. Camcorder configuration is available in this smart gadget. So camcorder. News plus broadcast, newscast. So these are the points that I needed to talk you about. I hope these examples and the tricks of word formation will help you better in sentence structures and syntactical constructions. So thank you so much, and if you have any questions, drop in the comment box, and have a nice day. Thank you so much.